All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're figuring out changes in percentages, and now we have a problem that we are going to work out. So let's take a look. Bob and his fish friends have been noticing that some of their friends seem to be disappearing. Their school of fish started with 450 fish, but now they only have 360 fish in their school. By what percentage was the population of their school of fish reduced? So the formula that we've been working with is the new subtract the old divided by the old. So what is our new number? Well, judging by the word problem here, the new amount of fish is 360. That's how much they have left. Now we've got to subtract the old amount. What was the old amount? In other words, how many fish did they start off with? Ah, there it is, 450. Okay. And we are going to divide this by 450 because that's our old amount. So if we take 360 and we take away 450 more, we are going to be left with a negative number, and that's okay. Remember, if you're left with a negative, that means that there is a decrease in your percent. So let's kind of ignore that negative for right now. And if you do 360 subtract 450, you're going to be left with, looks like 90. So we're going to have 90 left over out of the 450. So that's our change in numbers. So we have negative 90, but we're going to just to not worry about that for right now. So now we're going to do some division. We're going to go 450 as our divisor, and our dividend is going to be 90. Now we know that 450 cannot go into 90, so we are going to add another digit, but when we do that, we're going to add that 0. We have to add a decimal because 90 is 90.0. So now 450 can go in to 900 for a total of 2 times, giving us a grand total of 900. And if we subtract, we're left with nothing. No remainder, nothing left over. 450 goes into 900 2 times evenly. Now, this is a decimal. How do we change a decimal to a percent? Well, you can multiply that number by 100 or move the decimal 2 times over to the right, giving us a total of 20%. Now, was that an increase of 20% or a decrease of 20%? Remember that we've been dealing with a negative this whole time because of the way that the numerator set up here. So that's obviously a decrease. So the answer to this particular problem is a decrease of 20%. And recall, you take your new and you subtract your old from it, and you set that up as a fraction all over the old or the original amount, which is what I did here. If you're left with a negative, that means it's going to be a decrease. If you're left with a positive, then that change is going to be an increase. Once you have that set up, like I have negative 90 over 450, ignore the negative sign. That just means it's going to be a decrease. I set up my division problem here, and now I have 20%. So that's how you figure out the change in percent. Now, here's your task. Here is the problem that you guys are going to actually solve. In Google Classroom, there's a link to a Flipgrid. I want you guys to fill this out on a piece of paper first, work out all the problems, and within Flipgrid, you are going to use the whiteboard feature to show me your work exactly the way I showed it for you here. I am not all concerned with how neat and beautiful you make it and colorful. I want to know what you know. I need to know what you're thinking and your processes in this entire math equation. So that is your homework. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can put something in Google Classroom. You can come to tutoring tomorrow. But this is your homework. Figure this out on a piece of paper and then respond to the Flipgrid activity that is in the Google Classroom. Thank you.